It is Friday, May 13th. This is GeekWire TV. Thank you for watching. I'm just Patrick. Since this is our first show, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about GeekWire TV and what you expect to see here. Tell you a little bit of my interest in what I'm going to be talking about as the show goes on. I'm obviously a bit of a geek. I'm mostly a gamer geek. I play tabletop war games, specifically War Machine. I used to play Warhammer, but I'm not so much into these days. It's just not my cup of tea. Play video games and also role-playing games. The video games are mostly on my 360, though I do play on the PC. Last really good game I played was Mass Effect 2. I'm not a huge video game player. Mostly my gaming is interpersonal. I love sitting around a table and hanging out with cool people and fellow geeks. Also into science fiction and fantasy, read a lot, watch a lot of shows. I'm currently watching the new Doctor Who, although I'm not watching the new series yet, so please no spoilers. Which actually, I'll digress into that real quick. I'd like the show to be no spoiler zone, so if you're posting comments, if you're emailing me, please, big spoiler alert for people, because, some people don't want to know what happens until they've actually seen it or read it or experienced it, and I think that's fair. And I'm also the same way. I'm really kind of anal about that. What else? I read science fiction and fantasy. The last really great book I read was The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. Right now I'm rereading The Dresden Files, which is a lot of fun. It's a really great popcorny series. Video game. And I play Magic every now and again, although I'm not really into it like a lot of my friends. And that's sort of the short form of me. We'll do more as we go along. I'm going to talk about things that are interesting to me, but I also want to talk about things in a broader context. I mean, a lot of people who talk about things that are geeky sort of keep it very, very restricted what they're talking about, and I want to talk about sort of more in broader terms. For example, one thing I'm going to talk about in a little bit is the new Nintendo console. What does it mean for the industry? What's going to happen next? And what can we expect to see? So that's sort of what you can see. I'm a big War Machine gamer, as I mentioned. So you will be seeing a lot. I'll be talking a lot about War Machine and Hordes, Privateer Press in general. I think they're a great company. I've been a fan for 10 years now, since the game came out, pretty much. And they're really smart. They're really good business people, and I really admire that. I'm a student. I'm studying business, so it's sort of interest of mine anyway. So yeah, that's a bit of an introduction. Moving on from there, our first topic for today is going to be George Lucas and the Blu-ray Star Wars movies. And it's going to start with stating a very simple fact: George Lucas is kind of a douche. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I grew up with it. I love Star Wars. I can quote Star Wars left and right, and I'm just a huge fan. And then he did the special edition trilogy, and I was like, okay, why? But okay, sure. And then there was Episode 1 and Jar Jar Binks, and all the stuff that most of us hate Lucas for. But now he says, I'm going to release a trilogy on Blu-ray. Well, good for you, George. Thanks for doing that, because we already had it on DVD, but now we need it on Blu-ray too. And here's the thing: you can buy the prequel trilogy for $70. You can buy the original trilogy for $70. Each of those are 3 discs each, just the movies. If you want the special features, you gotta spend $140 to buy both together. Now, I don't want the prequel trilogy. I have them on DVD because, I'm a collector. But I don't want to pay $70 for them. And I don't think it's worth paying $70 for the features just on their own. It's really kind of a douchey thing to do, and forcing people to buy stuff that they don't want to buy. And of course, we being Star Wars fans, we're probably going to buy it anyway, because, we're nerds that way. It's something that you can count on, generally. Geeks, nerds, dorks, whatever term you want to use, we can be a little compulsive, and we can do stuff like that. We're collectors. It's sort of in the blood, I think. So it kind of vexes me, but what are you going to do? Another kind of dumb thing that a company's done recently. Last week was Free Comic Book Day, and it was also the pre-release of Phyrexia Victorious, the new Magic set. Why, Wizards? Why are you having these 2 events on the? I mean, they don't run Free Comic Book Day, obviously, but they know when it happens, and a lot of the people who sell their cards and are going to be doing the event are also, comic book stores, so there's this crazy busy nonsense going on. One friend of mine had some cards stolen because it was so freaking busy. And it's one of those things where you kind of go, Wizards, could you, use a little consideration? Think maybe that, comic book stores aren't going to want to deal with both of these at the same time? It's just sort of my opinion, I kind of like to think that people are going to be good and do good things. I know I'm not always right. But that's just my opinion. Again, I think Wizards was kind of silly for doing that. So I mentioned I was talking about the Nintendo console. I've been a video game player all my life, and I remember Nintendo and the Super Nintendo and the 64 and the GameCube and the Wii and the very fast shift from generations. And I've really been pleased with this generation of video game consoles. I've had an Xbox and I love it, and it's great that it's been out for what 5 or 6 years, and it doesn't look like Microsoft is doing anything new. I mean, Kinect only came out not that long ago. PlayStation Move. And it looks like this console life cycle is going to last a little longer, which is cool because the games are great, they're good quality, you have everything you need. What do we need faster hardware for? I mean, the games already look terrific. Got a high definition TV. You know, play Mass Effect 2, play Dragon Age 2. They're freaking gorgeous. But now Nintendo says, well, we're going to release a new console. So is that going to start a new console race? Are we going to see the Xbox, 3, the PlayStation 4, or Nintendo, or are Sony and Microsoft going to just sort of with what they've got? I hope they do. Nintendo, I can kind of see the value of them getting a new system out there that's more powerful. In theory, it might appeal to the hardcore, which might be good for them. It's never been their audience, but it might be worth doing, so I'm curious to see what happens next. And I think it's an interesting question. I was talking to my friend about this the other day. What about DLC? What about backwards compatibility? This generation has been, we've broken new ground with the DLC. If I buy an Xbox 3, in 2 or 3 years, I would like to have my arcade games go with me. I'd like to keep playing some of the games I have, like Rock Band, where I have, Rock Band 1, Rock Band 2, all the songs, all the DLC. I don't want to lose that, and I don't want to have to pay to buy it again. So it's interesting to see what's going to change in the new direction. I know that backwards compatibility was a big thing, and now it's less of a big thing, but, will we see that? And will we have to pay a premium for it? Will there be, that 3 versions of Xbox, and same thing with the PlayStation, where if you have to spend more to get your backwards compatibility? Because I'd like to be able to Rock Band. I'd be able to play Rock Band. It's kind of fun. So that's about it for the show. A couple of things. I want to do an introduction, like a video, so I'm going to start a contest for that next week. If you have some thoughts for your video editor, if you want to do something cool, let me know. I should give you the email for the show. It's geekwiretv@gmail.com, all one word. And I have a couple recommendations for you guys. Number 1 is a book. It's Altered Carbon by Richard Morgan. I hope you can see that. It's a high-def camera, so it should be pretty good. It's a nice, really interesting science fiction film noir book. And it's well done, it's well written, it's fast-paced, it's really entertaining, and it's a really good read. Richard Morgan's done some fantasy as well. I haven't read it, but I hear it's really good. And World of Tanks. Yeah. You ride around a tank, you blow stuff up. It's really that simple, but it's a lot of fun. It's also free, which is always really good. The free account lets you play online whenever you want. I'm trying to think what's limited. It's really not very limited. When you get a paid account, which you can't pay for, and once you play the game, you're probably going to want to, because supporting them would be a really nice thing to do. Once you get a paid account, you gain experience and money faster, and you also have some gold, so you can spend it on other things. But it's not necessary. I had a free account for a very long time. I did upgrade because I'm, silly and want to level up faster, and buying some gold is kind of cool because you can use gold to buy other things. But overall, free is great. And it's worth checking out, and that's about it. So that's it for the show. Thanks for watching. We'll be back on Monday. My plan is to do shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm a full-time student, so that may shift, but that's the plan. Those are all the days I don't have classes. And that's it for the show, as I said. Thanks for watching, and go out there, be geeky, and be awesome. Remember, they're not mutually exclusive. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.